if we're not feeding our business with new opportunities, then our business is like starving, right? It's like choosing not to eat for a period of time. Now, I've fasted before, and I know many people do, but you can't do that forever, so you've got to feed the body, especially if you're not drinking water. Then forget about it. Within hours, you're already going into, your body's already starting to go into other modes and shut things down because it's not getting water.
Steve, could you talk a little bit more about the macro versus the micro? So sometimes I get up in the morning and I open up my emails, and that showers me with all kinds of rabbit holes that I get trapped into, and then it postpones the things that I had planned to push it out later, and then and then it just snowballs. So should I be looking at the year, or should I be looking at the day, hour by hour?
Well, let's go back to that whole start of the day, right? Just stop doing that. Stop looking at your email. Just stop it. Just stop it, Todd. Stop it. Don't open your email. You know what? Guess where email is in my schedule for the day? The end of the day. The end of the day. It's the last thing I do. And I tell people, like, you're not going to get same day response from me on email. And I tell all of my clients, I tell everyone, email is my slowest thing. If you need me quickly, you better text me. And if you do send me an email and you're like, I need you to look at this, then text me. But even that, when I start my morning, Todd, my phone is on airplane mode. Airplane mode. The only time I use do not disturb is if I'm away from my family. So then this way my wife can get through. But if you don't know if you go look how to use your phone, but you can set do not disturb so that only like your partner or someone in your life that you need, if there's an emergency, can get through. But when I'm with my family, then I'm already here. So airplane mode it goes. And then I have my whole morning to, meditate, read, journal, work out, all those things that are really important that start my day with high energy. Then the first part of work, after I take care of self, the first part of work are my most important things. So typically, like when I'm writing my books, the books I've written, those are my first activities. I would spend an hour or two in the morning working on the book. Then I would get off to the day. And then the other thing that's really important to me is business development. If we're not feeding our business with new opportunities, then our business is like starving, right? It's like choosing not to eat for a period of time. Now, I've fasted before, and I know many people do, but you can't do that forever, so you've got to feed the body, especially if you're not drinking water. Then forget about it. Within hours, you're already going into, your body's already starting to go into other modes and shut things down because it's not getting water. The same things happen with our business. So those would be my highest priority. Number one, self. Number two, the most important thing you need to do for the day. Then number three, work on that biz dev. If you're doing biz dev, maybe you have a whole sales team and you don't have to do that anymore. And that's fine. Even I do have a team, and like, obviously, Todd, you're on that team with me, but I still make calls too. And then I get off to clients. Then I have client meetings, fulfillment meetings, team meetings, whatever else needs to be there. And then email. And I call it messages. It's like, so messages on LinkedIn, Facebook, and so I just call it all messages. It's all, and those have different priorities, right? So email might take more priority than Facebook or LinkedIn. And by the way, just a note, like in this last bit of building, Giovanni and I have been working heavily on building out our e-learning center and all these things. And it took, and many other things we're working on. Giovanni took a lion's share of some of that. And I had different tasks I had to do, like recording modules and all kinds of stuff. So I was down to 30 minutes a day of messages, and that wasn't enough. So I've been really behind on messages. We got through it. I delegated as much as I could, but ultimately I am going to increase that. But then you can measure that. It's like, do I need an hour of messages a day? And I have some clients, Todd, they like to do like 30 minutes right after lunch or right before lunch because they got all their morning routine done, and they check messages, and then they check messages. And it all depends on the type of your business. Maybe you need to check those messages because part of your business is to handle emergencies. Like I work with lawyers, and then they might have a client with an emergency. So it's not proper for them Now you could delegate that to an assistant, and then they can read and say, oh, that can go to their calendar tomorrow. That can go to their calendar tomorrow. Oh, this needs to be now. And then they appropriate that. But if you don't have an assistant, then checking your messages, but it has to be later in the morning after you get all your stuff done. Hey there, I want to give you something really big. It's called Clear Path to Customers. It's the way that we get the right language to get the right client. I like to call them your wow clients, so that you can have more results, more revenue, more raving fans, and more referrals. And I want to give this to you absolutely free. And all you have to do is go to stevenapolitan.com to check it out, or you can look at the description here. We'll put the details there. As always, remember, choose gratitude and create freedom.